Cheers to adulting.
Hello!
Jalo.
Hi. Cheers.
Cheers.
To adulting.
Hey, to adulting.
I'm Ashley Barajas.
I'm Abby Rosemarin. And this is Courtney, everybody.
This is Courtney Kapral.
Making my second, appearance.
All right, this is the encore.
Huzzah. Mm-hmm. One of many, I'm sure.
Oh, yes. She will be back.
I've been priming the wheels.
Yeah. So today we are drinking Tequila Sunrise.
Tequila Sunrise.
Is that what this is?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So, and it's homemade grenadine. You know, it's not really hard, just so you know. If you want to make your own and you don't want to have that artificial red food coloring, it's literally 1 part pomegranate juice, 1 part water. You kind of simmer that down a bit, and then you add a splash of orange flower,
I learned a thing today.
which you can find in the ethnic section with like Indian food and shit.
I don't think that's PC, but
Yeah.
The ethnic section.
can't say that. Can't say that.
Can't say that. So, right. So let's talk about some adulting shit that we've done
Yeah, let's get on that.
lately. It's been a while. It's been a minute.
It's just been a hot minute or two.
It's been a hot minute.
Life's kind of getting in the way of
Anybody
podcasting.
want to start?
Well, you know what? I will kick off this bitch because I have my adulting is good news. So I recently accepted not a new job, an additional job because that's the beautiful thing about freelancing is that, you know, I'm just like looking to rack up the clients, and getting a new job does not necessarily mean I'm quitting my old jobs. I'm keeping most of my old teaching gigs. I got a new teaching gig at a medical center. I am going to be a trauma-sensitive yoga therapist for their voluntary inpatient program.
Fuck yeah.
Which I am so excited about. Anybody who knows me personally and knows my career and my career aspirations knows that I have been wanting to get into the field of trauma and using yoga as a treatment for trauma for the longest time. Like whether it's in application, like what I'm going to be doing, or in research, that this has been like my focus for years. And I finally got my foot in the door, and I'm so excited about it. I first thought I wasn't going to get the gig because I applied and interviewed for this job in motherfucking June. June into July. I thought I was it was a done deal, and then they went radio silent for a couple weeks, and they're like, hey, listen, so we actually don't have funding for this job after all, but we want to keep your name on file. And of course I'm like, oh yeah, of course.
You're like, sure.
But I'm thinking like, yeah, you're going to keep my name on file. But lo and behold, 2 months later, they were like, hey, we actually do have funding. We'd love to have you on board. And I'm like, fuck yeah.
Like out of the blue?
Out of the blue.
That's
like
awesome.
In October, they got in contact with me again, and I signed on. And basically, once I signed on, they were like, awesome, here's all the shit you got to do to get cleared. And I was like, holy fucking shit balls. It was, so that has been like the most.
Holy forking shirt balls.
Exactly. Holy forking shirt balls.
What kind of things do you have to
So we're talking multiple background checks, drug screening, immunization screening, and everything would start splintering off into other things that I would have to do. Like the immunization thing.
That's interesting.
It was some shit. Like
Well, it's medical, right? So you have to get all
yeah,
that
so they
stuff
got to
in
make
there.
sure I'm not a criminal. I'm not a psycho. That I'm actually vaccinated.
So you failed all that stuff.
Oh, of course.
I mean, like who's judging what type of, really, whose standards?
Exactly. Well,
Right,
you know, at least
Textbook.
Not criminally psychotic. How about that one?
That's key.
Not criminal. And like I learned the hard way that all my immunization records have been destroyed thanks to my pediatrics office.
Oh my God.
No way.
So because I was born in '86, none of my records are digital, and they purge your records 10 years after your last visit.
Got 'em all again.
So, yeah, so they had to, I didn't have to get them all again, but they had to run what's called titers on me, which is basically, you know, they try to see if the antibiotic is in there. They did that, and I passed for most of them, but apparently my MMR antibodies are a little bit on the lower side. Like, it's proof, kind of, sort of, that it's there, but it's not enough. Like, it doesn't show proof that I got my booster or something like that.
Oh.
So I had to go and get my fucking MMR vaccination. Oh, it was a son of a bitch.
It hurts so damn bad.
Like, it's actually not as bad as the flu shot, but it was like my shoulder was sore for days.
My shoulder was sore for a couple days. I recently got the flu shot. I didn't want to because I knew my arm was going to be sore. And I was like, fine. Plus, that just reminded me. I have a coupon in the car that I need to use. But she said I have till New Year's Eve.
Yeah, that God bless CVS.
Yeah.
And on top of that, I had to do what's called my BLS training, my basic life support training, which is basically CPR on steroids. So even though I have my CPR training, I had to get my BLS training, which is for healthcare providers. So you learn a little extra, like you learn about how to use one of those like bag mask things that you put over the face.
Okay.
Thing?
You learn. Well, you don't learn about the paddles, but you learn, AED. You learn if you are doing CPR in a group setting, who, takes over.
Someone does the
blood,
mouth, someone does.
Exactly.
Then you stay alive. Stay alive.
Staying alive, staying alive. Staying alive, staying alive.
You can't tell by the way.
This right here, that's how come I know what the xiphoid process is.
There you go. Exactly. They will use
Not
that.
doing it right if you're not breaking bones. That's all I know.
There's a Spotify playlist for songs that
the
go
right
to
beats
the
per
tune
minute,
for
yeah.
right beats per minute.
Oh, and I can't save this guy's life until somebody put this Spotify list on.
Spotify!
Put it on. Time me.
Shit, guys.
That's
You
excellent.
call 911. You get the 80.
Somebody who's got premium.
Right? Shit, it's a
commercial.
Yeah, you have to have premium. You can't fuck around
he's
with
fucking flatlining because
Nobody
we're
wants
about
to use
time
their
right
third
now.
skip on
Shit.
their bullshit.
Oh my god.
So where are we at on the list then? So you're almost
So
done?
I have finished all of the stuff. I did my BLS training. I did all immunizations. I've passed all my background checks. Congratulations, everybody! I now have certified proof that I am not a criminal. I'm not a crook.
And we can choke.
Exactly.
We're safe.
Exactly. You are in
That's
safe
right.
hands with me. And so now it's just a matter of time. Like, I've passed all my paperwork in. It just has to go through HR. And right now it's only one class a week, but they're hoping to make it as many as 6 classes a week. So this could
Fuck
be
yeah,
like...
you could drop some other classes.
I could drop some other classes, which would be nice. Because there are some classes... So it's not a government job, although I'm curious because it's a medical center. I think it's a private medical center, but I was talking with a friend of mine who, deals a lot with like government contracts and what have you. And when I told him about how they kind of just, they dropped the ball on me in July, but then in October they got into contact with me. It was like, that's because they knew about their federal funding.
Oh,
That's
for
how,
sure.
because
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
I guess the federal year starts in like basically September. And I was like, that's why I keep you around. To give
You're
you
gonna
that
get
information.
one of those things we were talking about on Saturday, the pensions.
Oh, unfortunately, I'm still going to be a contractor, which is okay.
It's still good.
I'm still in control. I can say, hey, I'm just not available during these days, which as a freelancer, I can't handle having a boss anymore. I have to be like, nope, I'm just not available on these dates. I can't do the, please, may I take a day off? I can't do that shit anymore. I can't.
That's how you know you made it in life.
Right?
Exactly.
I
make my own schedule.
I still have to very much adhere to like, if I just like, take random shit off, they're going to be like, okay, you're unreliable, bye.
Yeah.
But if it's like, for example, Thanksgiving, when we were figuring out when I could start, I'm like, hey, just FYI, I'm going to be out of state for Thanksgiving. And they're like, okay, cool. And I'm like, exactly, bitch. This is how we roll. Exactly. I'm not going to say that to them because it's going to be like, why, yes, thank you. I'm going to be super respectful because this is exactly the job I've always
Because that's
wanted.
what I said when we got hired. These are the ground rules.
Exactly.
You set ground rules. Good for you.
So that has been
exciting.
my big adulting. It has been a wild and crazy month trying to get all this shit together, but it is done and I am ready for this.
Nice.
So
I would
That's
say,
exciting.
how about you, Courtney? Some adulting?
So last time I was here, my adulting story was not great. So I've been kind of thinking over the year, like what I can say that will seem like I'm doing more adulting stuff outside of just work, but I don't really have much.
Well, you can also say something you are not a non-adulting thing, something that you should be doing, but you haven't, and it's okay.
Oh,
To be like, I should be doing this, and I haven't. I got so.
I got a ticket when I was in Reno.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I was speeding through the airport.
What were you
Allegedly.
going? Allegedly.
keywords
I mean,
here. everybody.
allegedly.
Allegedly.
I was going to miss my flight, and it was going through like the drop-off lanes
Yeah.
where it's like and do. That's how you know how fast you're going. You're, like,
Yeah.
you're not supposed to hit those bumps that.
Oh,
When the speed
yeah.
bumps turn into bongo drums.
But he was stationary. I watched him, and then all of a sudden he was behind me, and then I said, "Hey, listen, I'm gonna miss my flight," and he didn't care. He came back with like one of those CVS receipt type
Yes.
styles,
Oh
like big
my
one. He's like, "This is for an appearance to court," and I said, "Well, I live in New Hampshire." So you could pay it online. So thank God they have one for online.
Jeez.
Wait,
Because
does the
Kittery
company
did
pay
not.
for it?
No, not for this. No. They don't know about it. I should pay it beforehand though,
Woof.
because I do have a company card. But
Tempting.
so, anyways, yeah. I mean, aside from work and keeping animals alive, and
Which is
That's
important.
a pretty big thing.
yeah, I mean, I'm not the one that like sends the bills or knows the passwords or any of that stuff. I just can't be the one responsible for that. What have I done?
I mean, I'm
recently?
not in charge of that either.
I really haven't done too much, really. Not
Yeah,
adulting.
no,
I'm alive. Let's just leave it at that.
There
Well,
you know
I'm
what?
keeping things alive. My plants, I
Yeah.
haven't killed any.
Hey, there you
That's
go.
my big adulting. I think that was
I'm sorry,
kind of where it came back.
Staying
Keep it-
alive is
oh
a
shit, that
full-time
reminds me. I
fucking
need
job.
Yeah,
to water
it's
some
really-
plants.
Yeah, it's a lot. So I won't take up too much more time because it's not that exciting.
Let's see. So we had a huge party here on Friday, and I cleaned the shit out of my house.
Yeah, it's some
It was great. Did lots of organizing, cleaning, like unnecessary, but it needed to happen. So it like forced me to deep clean. Like I scrubbed the shit out of our jacuzzi tub. And even though like no one was going to use it, but it was like people are going to be in that bathroom and I don't want them to see that.
Yeah. Oh no, I've done that myself.
Yeah.
Like,
I only do that when there's like people coming over. Or
Yeah.
something, you know, like only every now and then.
However, like literally like the whole house I cleaned, even like the basement where some people might not be or whatever, like even the nooks and crannies. However, I had a lot of clean laundry that needed to get put away. But at one point on Friday, I was like, no, I'm going to shove that in our
Yes.
bedroom closet.
Courtney style.
That's how you do it.
That's how I roll.
So that I planned on doing when I got home today, that didn't happen.
Nobody
so.
wants to do laundry.
So maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow.
Worst.
That was it.
Hey, nice.
A non-adulting.
Hey, it's all good.
And on that note, we will transition to the main meaty subject.
Our meaty little entree.
Yeah, of this episode.
What are we talking about?
So we're talking about friendships as adults.
Adult friendships. And well, maybe not those type of adult friendships.
Yeah,
Well, you know what? Or
not like sexy relationships
Yeah,
per
but
se.
if you want that to be a part of your friendships and everyone's consenting, go at it, baby.
Exactly.
Do whatever you want.
But like friendships as an adult, it's tricky. There's a lot of like confrontations, lots of toxic friendships, lots of like, I don't have friends, how do I make friends? Especially when you're adult and it gets tricky.
Yeah.
So we're gonna kind of talk into that.
Dive into this bitch.
So I was doing some research.
Peel back the onion.
Let's go into these layers.
Oh yeah.
So I found this little thing on Psychology Today. They published an article in 2017 about 5 lies about adult friendships. So we'll touch on each point. One of them was we should know how to make and keep friends as an adult.
Huge fucking lie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that.
No, as we
It's pure accident.
yeah,
for
like
me.
this whole podcast is we're adults. We don't know what the fuck we're doing. No one knows what the fuck they're doing. They know like certain aspects, but they
Yeah.
don't know other aspects.
I learned core rules in kindergarten,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then that's that. I
Basically.
evolved from there.
Actually, I wonder if I have a picture. There's this couple I clean for, and I think their family mottos can be applied to everyday life. So their family charter is
They have a charter.
number 1, don't die.
Excellent.
I love
it.
Key.
A, don't die yourself. B, don't let others die.
God,
2,
I'm stealing this.
do no harm. A, don't hurt yourself. B, don't hurt others. 3, do good/right. A, do good/right for yourself. B, do good/right for
I like how they give
others.
options of A and B so that
Yeah.
there's no reading into it.
Exactly. 4, have fun. A, have fun yourself. B, help others have fun. And 5, moderation in all things, including moderation.
God bless you, Oscar Wilde.
A, do what feels right. B, keep a long-term balance.
Damn, that's
right? I feel like that's the same with
I
friends.
feel like they should frame that because I saw it on just a piece of paper.
Yeah,
and, a
and they
picture.
just have it like
And you-
taped up,
they
and
need
it's
to-
been there
somebody
since
needs
I've
to
been
hand paint
cleaning.
that.
Someone needs to like do some needlepoint in that.
That's right. That's right.
So yeah, we
Agreed.
don't know how to keep friends and make friends, so we're here to kind of help you navigate that.
Right?
Second lie, we don't have enough friends.
I don't know. Sometimes you are saturated.
I
You're like,
can
am
tell
done.
you,
I have too many.
as me, you can have too many friends, but also you can and you
Yeah,
can't.
you can have too many and not enough at the same time.
Exactly.
There's a lot of quantity, maybe not a lot of quality.
You gotta
Yeah.
weed out the acquaintances versus friends.
100%. The acquaintance word.
Yeah,
That's
that's
key.
not. Doesn't necessarily mean friend.
3, we should have a best friend.
I have like 8.
8, right?
Like, it's
On
insane.
this couch. All
Right?
best friend. Couch and camera. All best friends.
And I always feel bad because like my best friend, which is basically just the first or the remaining longest running best friend, like I will still sometimes like call it that, but then I'm
Yeah.
like, but then I'm at brunch with another best friend.
Yeah.
Fuck. You know what?
It
Chicago
sounds so weird
friend.
when you
I'll
say
It
say
feels
it,
weird
yeah.
to say.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm stepping in weird territory when I'm with
Yeah.
a best friend, talking
Yeah.
about, oh, my best friend.
Like,
And
shit,
I'm like,
my other
I hope
best
they
friend.
don't feel like they're not a best friend,
I always
too.
like one of my
this
closest
is a poly
friends.
best friend relationships situation.
Yeah, yeah. That's it. It's weird. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's an outdated word.
You can all have best friends.
Yes.
Do
what I want.
Yeah, I do what I want.
Right.
Lie number 4: we should hold on to childhood friends.
Oh no.
And wrong.
False.
I don't
Fuck
even think
that
I
shit.
have. I don't think I have.
I have dropped some best childhood friends like bad motherfucking habits.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
gotta
Like
go
I got some
sometimes.
stories about some childhood friends I had to drop. Like holy shit.
So, for example, we'll leave some names anonymous.
Hmm.
I
I
have
know
one of you never met her personally.
Hmm.
So I have one of my best friends, one of my close friends. She had a childhood best friend who, because they were childhood friends, I became friends with that person.
Mm-hmm.
And ended up seeing the light of how shitty they were. And why was I was putting so much effort because, well, if one of my best friends is friends with her, I should be.
Yeah.
And then like talking with her, I was like, well, why are you still friends with her? She's like, I don't know. I guess since I've been friends with her since a child.
Like longevity.
And she kept telling me to stop being friends with her. And I was like, but you're friends with her. It's just like, not for long. And because I was able to cut that tie, she was able to cut that tie.
Oh,
There
was
is no
so
tenure in
toxic.
friendship, y'all.
Oh,
There's
no.
tenure.
History.
No.
I think I have maybe one or two that I was, one for sure from high school that we've been friends for a long time. But even that, it's like, I only
Your
see-
values
yeah.
change, your personalities change, your interests
Yeah.
change.
I can't see anybody on a regular basis outside of my cats and my husband and just the people who live in my like everyday.
Close
Like,
vicinity.
yeah. I mean, there's like a handful. It's not. Excuse me.
You're
sir.
welcome. And then lie number 5. We are a quote unquote bad friend. You're not a bad friend. You might have some shortcomings as a friend, but so does everyone else as an adult.
Yeah.
Our lives are goddamn busy. We're trying too hard to keep animals alive and
I think
plants.
it's a bad friend when you make the person feel like a bad friend.
100%.
Period.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you are not being malicious, if you are doing your best to be considerate, ta-da, you're
Yeah.
a good friend.
That's
Like,
shitty to make. people
We're
feel
not
like that.
perfect. And I try and, well, we'll get on to it. Actually, the next topic that we have is saying no to plans / canceling friends. Canceling friends. Canceling
Sometimes
plans.
you have to cancel friends too.
It's,
See number 4 on that lie list.
I think there's a big importance on not laying guilt, not making people feel guilty when you want to cancel plans, even if you have no excuse. If you just don't feel like it, if you're not mentally there, you just can't deal with hanging out with anyone, you should not feel guilt on canceling that and communicating that to friends is so important. I've made sure, because I'm an extrovert and I have a lot of close friends, probably the majority of them are all introverts.
What's up?
And they have a tendency to want to cancel plans. And I've made sure that I let them know that if you're going to cancel plans, just cancel it. Just tell me. Say, I don't feel like it. Let's not. Okay, that's fine.
I feel like I've made it almost in our friendship, and I don't know if you feel like this too, but like I feel like you almost go into it almost expecting me to do it, and if I show up,
100%.
great. It's even better because I'm there.
It's like dating
I'm a flight
Michael.
risk.
He's exactly. I will expect him to 95% of the time not commit to anything for plans, and if he shows up, well,
Excellent.
it's a goddamn surprise, and it's a pleasant surprise. I'll be like, oh, shoot, I feel special.
Yeah. What about you? You feel bad when?
Oh yeah, if I feel like if
We've
I
definitely
cancel,
canceled.
Oh, yeah,
it's
but
rare, but
every once in a while I'll be like, hey, long day, blah blah blah, and like we get it, and
Yeah.
but it's
we'll be good about
sometimes
it.
it's
But
like happy.
yeah,
We're like, oh, good.
You
I'm
put the
just not
feelers
gonna-
out.
yeah, today was just not a good day for hanging out. So,
Yeah.
but like for a lot of people, especially those I don't feel as comfortable with, like forget about it. I'm like, are they going to be mad at me? Am I letting them down?
Yeah.
Like, and I've had some friends, those friends that you should be canceling, who don't
Shouldn't have
respect
committed
your
to begin with.
right, and they're not respecting your boundaries,
right.
and they're guilting you, and it's like. Oh, and that just makes it even worse. Like, look,
Oh,
I
yeah.
have proof now that I'm a horrible friend. I'm letting them down.
I've had that too recently, and often that like people will, and I'm not the kind of person that cancel plans often. So when I do, that like,
For real.
just let me fucking cancel.
Yeah.
That I always have a good excuse, or even if I don't have an excuse, it's like I try and be. I guess my personality is that I like to do plans and stuff like that. But I enjoy sometimes when people cancel, because it forces me to, because I'm such an extrovert, to be alone by myself.
Oh, yeah.
And to learn to be okay that I don't have to be around someone. I can be productive. I can be by myself.
Yeah.
I feel that.
But yeah,
I'm open about it 100% now going forward. Now, in this last, I think, maybe 2 years, even when I first met you, I was wide open about it.
and I think
I cancel plans. I might not keep them.
at the very beginning of our friendship, I told you off the bat, if you need to cancel something, that I'm okay with that.
I exercise my rights too.
Yeah, and I like to.
100%. And if you say like, well, usually you just have it. Like,
Yeah.
why? Because I just straight up don't want to. Or I won't commit to anything either. It's like, shoot, you want to come over to the house and do this? No. Why not? Because I don't want to. It doesn't interest me.
Yes.
Like, I'm just completely honest about it these days. But it's so liberating.
And I'm much more understanding and much more sympathetic and empathetic to when someone says, I don't want to. Why would you want to keep the plans if they're not in the mood?
Right.
Yeah.
If they
Force
just
them.
want to like stay home and like be with themselves and enjoy themselves, then that's what they should be doing. That's what I hate to say it because it sounds so like granola country. It's their truth.
Oh my God, I hate that phrase.
Oh,
It's their truth, so let them live their truth because that's what their
I
body
can't-
needs.
I know. It is that granola sounding too, isn't it?
I know, but it's
no,
so like
I know my truth.
yeah.
So
But true,
it's so appropriate.
it's so appropriate that that's what their truth is, and let them live their
the
truth.
truth is this. I
Yeah.
just don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to do. My time is way more valuable now these days. I feel like the older I've gotten,
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
don't want to go like slinging it around all over.
exactly. Like we have jobs, we have houses to
right.
look after. Time is short. It's a commodity.
We have
I'm not
cats.
exactly. We have cats to look after,
real.
litter boxes to clean, motherfucker. Like,
Yeah, I think maybe 2 in some instances.
So the stuff that I had is kind of out of order, so I'm gonna jump to what I think is, on like being yourself and living your truth. And the thing is, it's just being open and honest about what you need
yeah.
and expressing that to your friends. For example, one of my closest friends, can't remember if she hasn't been a guest officially because I think her social anxiety wouldn't allow that. Is Sally. Hi, Sally.
Hi, Sally.
She used to when she's like an extreme introverted person, except like when you get her alone. Anyway, she's wonderful. She would feel so rotten when she would cancel plans
Worst
with
feeling
me.
ever.
Yeah.
Just like she told me, I hate to like, I'll have to I don't know. She would get very, very upset when she would cancel plans with me. Like she was
like
letting me
disappointing you
down.
Yeah.
Like very emotional. And I had to explain to her, I'm like, you never need to feel bad about doing what makes you feel good and what's right for you. And you're such a pure human being. Why would I get upset if you need to cancel? And by us both being very honest with each other, it's really helped us grow. So my party this past Friday, I want all my closest friends to be there. And she was like, would you be mad if I didn't go? She was like, I had a hard time the last party. It was a lot of people. And apparently I didn't know, I've known her for years, that she's not into Halloween and it kind of scares her. And I was like, if you don't want to come, just don't come. Like,
Yeah.
that's fine. I'll love you regardless.
She came to those other ones though, and I would have. I mean, that's a big deal. Like,
she's come to enough things. I think she's like met her quota of like a introverted kind of person meeting her quota of coming to big social things. It's just like,
I don't like social big things.
yeah, and you know, if that's not your thing, you don't be guilted into going to things that aren't going to make you happy.
And Halloween is scary.
Yeah,
So
it should be scary.
it is scary.
I like it scary. But yeah, so be open and honest. Don't try. And so we will name drop
Oh,
Veronica about don't be something you're not. Of when you went to her house and she like cleaned and she cooked and you're like, you don't have to do this for me.
oh yeah. And this is nothing that I haven't said to her.
Yeah,
Just said
it's just,
I love Veronica.
know that,
And Veronica and I, when we first had our very first thing, her and I are not like you and Noam are.
yeah.
Not type A, we like what we like.
I feel like I'm type
the
A
best.
minus B plus.
And so I was like, oh no, when I went over and she made this beautiful like dinner, it was so good. We were sitting there, we were chatting, and I was like, oh, another one of these that can cook and do all the girl things and things like that. I said, you don't have to. And she's like, well, I just wanted, to make something nice for you. I was like, you don't have to. And now we don't. We have great expectations now. Levels right here.
Yeah.
I mean, and every time I go over there, it's like no pressure, no nothing. We just, when we see each other, we see each other. And when we don't, or we'll catch up. And that's it.
I feel like
And it's great.
you've hit a friend level when you don't clean before they come over. So for Patrick and Abby, I don't always clean before they come here because they gotta love me at my worst and my best. I try and do a little bit, but I know I don't have to like nitty gritty clean.
Yeah.
I have like the
let's-
nobody's allowed upstairs rule.
I like that. And let's be real, there's been plenty of times I've come over and we've just been like, oh, we're going to do like laundry together or like clean up the
Or
kitchen
like
together.
Abby, I don't want people to think I'm making Abby do laundry. I
no,
just
no.
want people to sit there while I do.
Oh yeah, the ADHD.
Laundry.
Oh, yeah. But your house was super clean too.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I still haven't hit
I've
the
seen
place
it at its
where
worst.
yeah, like very few people, and I think it's like Ashley and like I think a few friends on accident. And it horrified me when they did have seen my house when it gets dirty, and I'm like, no.
It's the worst anxiety on the planet.
Oh no, I can't handle. Like that's the other thing too. I can't handle a cluttered house. Like I'm terrible about it because like the whole ADHD thing. I will leave stuff. I'll put stuff down and not realize I put it down, and then be like, fuck. Why didn't I put it away in the place it's supposed to be so now I can find it?
Yeah.
But then I hate clutter and I will like go to town cleaning the house because I'm like, I can't handle this shit.
Oh, I can't handle that. I just don't follow through. I start it and then I don't follow through.
Just
Yep.
live in a
It's
state of
awful.
clutter and anxiety.
I know, because everything else in my life is so specific and organized, like at work, so that's like my space where I can be like a dirty little raccoon.
Oh yeah. That's what my spare bedroom is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dirty little raccoon.
Moving on.
So
I digress.
I think a good transition is also you don't have to like everything about your friends or your
This is
close
true.
friends, and they can also make you better people by not having everything in common.
Yes.
And with that, it's being honest with each other. Confrontation is fucking awkward, very uncomfortable. But if you take pride and just really want to make yourself happy and you appreciate people as well, even if maybe that friendship's not meant to be, it can still being open and honest about things that you don't like about them or things that they can work on will make them a better friend, if not for you, for other people and for themselves. And each friend can serve a different purpose for you. So maybe they're not the kind of friend that you see like every week. Maybe it's once a month. Maybe their personality is very goddamn intense and you can only see them once a month. And it works out like that.
And nothing's wrong with that. I actually, semi-recently had a conversation with another friend about, I have one friend who just can't handle deep emotions at all. Like, he fucking runs the second there's any type of deep emotion. Like, it's the most amazing thing ever. Like, you can watch him ghost on a conversation because you're like, oh, that conversation got too deep for you. Awesome. And it's like, you know what?
That's
Do
cool.
yeah, like, okay, you're the friend that we can have fun, superficial conversations with. We're not going to get too deep. I'm not going to cut you out of my life because you do bring positive things to my life. It's just, we're not going to be hanging out every day talking about our, like, abusive childhoods and, crying on each other's shoulders. Like, it's just...
But do you have a purpose as though if you want something light and not so stressful, or not stressful but heavy?
Exactly.
Then it's like out of purpose.
Exactly. And that's how I see it. It's platonic relationship anarchy. You appreciate it for what it is.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? You can't get to this level. That's okay. We're going to meet you at this level. I have some friends that I adore, but I'm like, I adore you in small doses.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can only,
Yes.
like, if I see you more than once a month, we're going to have some issues.
I can guarantee you, I don't know who they are, and maybe I do, that I'm a lot.
You can be much.
I am.
You can
I'm
be
a whole lot.
We do like what I call does she do this to you?
Oh
no.
The 3 deep
I don't
rule.
have to with her.
Oh, wait. What?
If I try to cancel her or say I don't like something, she goes 3 deep like a salesperson. So she'll go like,
Yeah.
but what about this? And I'm like, no. So have you tried it with this? No. And she'll do it again. She usually goes about 2 to 3, sometimes 4 if it's really passionate about it. But like certain things, we just don't vibe with, right? Like not all movies.
Yeah.
We have different movies and different like music tastes and stuff. So like, when you kick around the idea of somebody, go, hey, have you heard this? Nope. If I just say straight up nope, then don't even go any further. Because I'll say, okay, but I'm not going to listen to it.
I know.
So
I'm
just say
a
no.
little on the easier side because I'm so universal in my tastes and my experiences that it's like, I haven't, but I'll try it out. Like, I'm just such a, like... What do they call that? I'll try sexual. I'll try anything once.
Same.
What is that? There's a name for that, yeah?
Try anything?
Yeah, like,
do
I
what I
mean, I
want.
guess not with the sexual part, just the try life.
Open-minded?
I'm a pan life person.
Pan life.
Yeah,
there
I
we
mean,
go.
I'm pretty like, I like new music as long as it's in the realm of but like, I don't do show tunes. And you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
not
let's be
very,
real, like, you do very
that's,
high-pitched stuff.
small.
You do a lot of high-pitched stuff.
Only when I'm like,
Or I don't, okay, let me rephrase. Let me back it up. For
Yeah.
people who like, I don't do Broadway.
I do
You
like
do.
Disney. That's when I'm like really.
But that's your
like,
thing, and I respect
miss
that.
singing.
But the 3 deep rule, that was the point of it, is
Yes.
that, she knows the boundaries.
Because Michael has
Don't worry
to
about
deal with that too.
Yeah, we've had conversations.
Oh, like 100%. And he's with me, like we live together.
Like, you can't ever just
and
let
I'm
it
like,
go.
just try.
let it ride.
No, I can't. And I don't want to be like that, but I'm just so passionate and intense that I'm just like, but you have to experience it because I've experienced it and I want you to experience this.
I understand that.
I want you to be happy.
Yeah.
This changed my life. It will change
Change
yours
my
too,
life, it'll
damn
change
it.
yours.
You want
I
it to
swear
make
to God,
you
if I was more
yeah.
passionate and like, if I was like intense about like religious things, that would be great. I'd convert everybody.
You're a pusher.
I'm a pusher, man.
You're a drug pusher.
I'd be the greatest drug pusher ever. But have you tried it? You gotta try it like this. But have you seen this?
Nope.
It'd be great.
Nope.
Yeah.
Whereas
I should
if
be a car
ask,
salesman.
I say, I don't go far enough. I'll say, hey, did you see this? And she says no, and I'll just, that's it.
Oh, now that is me.
That's
I'll be
me,
like,
okay.
hey, I really want you to check out this YouTube thing. Yeah, I'll check it out. I'll never follow through because I'm like, I just hope you
Sure.
did.
You won't be
Thank
like, did you watch
bye."
that?
Did you see that new season? No. Then
you
ball's
watch
in your
it?
court then. I'm not going to bring it up again.
I'm the
very
worst
intense.
pusher ever. I would suck as a drug dealer.
Everybody has their pusher stuff too, I think.
See, but the thing is that
Shows, I'll push
our
shows.
personalities are what they are, and there are some bad, or not for everybody sort of things, but there are things that can be improved, things that we get. So, for example, my thing that is my negative sort of thing is, I would say it is definitely attributed to my ADD, is that I used to do it a lot more, interrupt people, because I get very
too.
intense and very like, I will think of something on topic of conversation and be like, oh, this, interrupt. But now I've learned as an adult, now that I'm getting older, I realize when I do it, I don't do it as often because I've trained myself and learned to listen. And like, if I'm listening and I'm like, oh, I have something to contribute to that, to hold on to it. Or if I have to, because I know I'll forget, to say whatever it is, or just like, oh, I thought of something. Or if it's, my new favorite thing is say pause.
Oh, yeah.
I'll say pause.
Time out.
I'm thinking of this. I want to say that. And then I'll say unpause, meaning like, I realize that I'm being rude right now, but I have to say this now, or I'll forget it. But I want to get back to you and what you're saying. Or if I do not do that, I will say, oh, shit, I interrupted you. I'm a
My
rude
bad.
asshole.
Yeah.
So what were you saying?
That's one of my worst qualities, too.
Yeah, I think all of us. I mean, just a whole bunch of ADD kids right
Yeah.
here.
Well,
like,
I literally, there's an ADD couch.
I'm like, I'm sorry to interrupt, and then I'll, like, let you back to what
Yeah.
you were doing. But, like, at that point, the damage has been done. So I think that's probably one of my worst. What is my worst friend trait, I wonder? If I was to give myself one, probably... I like to think I'm investing in my friend. I am, but sometimes I don't allow the walls to be reciprocate. Yeah, for others.
yeah.
I think that's probably one of mine.
Fort Knox over here.
Don't allow a lot of penetration.
You can find me on the Yeah, I mean, well. But yeah, I mean, I think I am. I'm pretty open about stuff, but like only with a select group of people. I
Yeah.
think. Like I'm very choosy about it because I had to chop like about a good chunk of people out of my life on purpose, and it was the best thing that I ever did.
Nice.
No,
Family,
it's
too.
super good. And before we get onto that, I think it's just important that if there are some things that you think maybe you're seeing a lack of consistent friendships, or you're not seeing people as often, and maybe, I don't want people to take this as like, oh, something's wrong with me. But in any of your good friendships, it's important, if you want, to get feedback, to be like, is there something that I could work on to be a better friend, to be a better person in relationships, friendships, or whatever? But you have to realize that it might be goddamn harsh.
Yeah.
And I'm sure these people
Depending
aren't
on who's
doing it.
saying it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it depends on delivery. It might come off harsh, and it's not meant to be harsh. It all comes from a good place, because people who love you are going to tell you these things. People that don't love you and don't care about your growth and development aren't going to be honest. Oh, you're fine. You're perfect. Bullshit. They're not your real friend. They'll tell you the things, and some of them you can kind of improve on. Some of the stuff you can't. And you just have to take it as it is.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of cutting people, or did you have
What did you just say?
Speaking on cutting people.
cutting people? Well, no, because you were saying cutting people out
Well, I was gonna. What do you? If you were gonna have to pick your own?
Oh, my
like,
worst
bad-
trait.
Yeah, if you were
of
gonna
me.
judge
Let me
yourself.
count the ways for me.
Oh, you know what? For me, I'd probably say my worst one is the fact that I can't do confrontation at all.
Yeah, I don't like
And
it.
I will let it fester. I will like just start dropping people from my life because it's just easier than to say, hey, this is what's bothering me. And that's a tough one too, because I pride myself on being so easygoing that when something's happening and I feel like I can't like I can't be easygoing about this. This person has done something that upsets me. I can never just say, hey, listen, you did this thing and it really upset me.
Yeah.
I just let it fester.
Yeah.
Oh, and I hold a grudge, and it affects like I've been working so hard on it. Like if I feel like somebody, ghosted me in the middle of a conversation and I didn't appreciate it, I'm trying to be like, hey, what happened? You kind of disappeared. Like I'm trying really hard to say something, but it is tough. Like
I feel like you and I are very similar, but we've come so far. Mm-hmm. I feel like you've definitely, I don't mean to like compare in that way, that you've had more to go in the confrontation aspect because you're more of like an introvert extrovert. Mm-hmm. And I, like as an empath, the whole confrontation thing like bothers me on like a physical level, and it makes me very uncomfortable. But I feel like we both, and I definitely, speaking for myself, have been better about just putting it out there and being more honest and more like, this is what the fuck is happening. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And to be like calling people out on their shit. And I wouldn't have done that before, but like, you know what? I don't care how uncomfortable this is. It needs to be said. Right. Be like, you need to own your shit.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is what's happening, and this is how it's making me feel, and you need to realize what I'm observing.
You're entitled to, however. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I used to do like the proverbial like pop off. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like where I would just let it build and build and build,
and then
I
you
would
just
lose
flip
my
the
shit.
fuck out.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Not like one of those, like, what was it? What's that show with Bad Girls Club or something where they're like ripping each other's hair out? And shit.
Oh my God.
Not like that. No, not like that. But like,
still,
just
you
like,
have an emotional blowout and you scream and you
but
yell.
I
someone's gonna be
But
offended.
sometimes having those emotional blowouts, I mean,
it's not healthy though.
It's not healthy, but sometimes it's good because I remember, for example, shout out to Emily. We've been friends for a long time. We started off as the potential to be best friends, and then we became roommates, and we lived together we went through so much in like a year and a half, almost 2 years.
Living together is a whole nother
story.
Like
I had a boyfriend die. I had all these sort of relationships and stuff, and I had to move out, and it was near the end of me moving out, and I forgot it was. It got very, very tense, and I forgot what happened, but she like snapped at me and was like getting very short with me and vice versa. And I think I said something about like, I don't know why you're being such a fucking bitch.
Well,
you know what?
Oh,
something
wow.
like
back
that.
In the day, back in the day.
That's very, very like paraphrasing. Basically, you know what? I don't know what the fuck is your problem.
I don't know who the fuck you think you're talking to.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what the fuck is your problem, but you're being a real bitch lately. And it went
the delivery was real bad.
It was like on a dime. Then she started crying, and I was like, "Oh,
what a dick!"
And then it just like, because it was just, I could have handled it a lot better. But it was basically like, because I just instead of like not having confrontation, obviously my confrontation choice was a lot worse. I definitely used the word bitch, and she was just like poured out of like all of her feelings about like feeling about me moving out and new people coming in, and it was very intense because it was like we were sisters, and that's what it was.
I feel like that's
and we were like, well, we need to like address the elephant in the room that like this is stuff we're not saying to each other. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, you need to be open and honest with people, even if it's gonna come out as crass as Ashley is.
Hey, speaking of that whole popping off, like as I was learning to be more assertive, like one of my longest best friends, like she's dealt with the passive me for so long. There was so much that was festering within me because of that. And it was around like about 4 years ago, which is around the same time that my father was dying and my life just kind of blew up. So I had no fucking spoons to deal with any shit. And
I feel like you've probably become more aggressive because you've hung out with me more.
I mean, that probably also helps too. There's definitely been a few times where I'll tell you like a situation and you're like, why aren't you saying X, Y, and Z? I don't get it. And I'd be like, damn it, I got called out. You have a point. Shit. But with this one, like, I forget exactly what she did, but I just went off. And I started actually, like, and it's best not to do this. And again, this is why you got to say things in the moment and not hold on to them, because you start fucking laundry listing.
Yeah.
And it's like, this, and I'm mad at
Digging shit
this,
out
and I'm
from,
mad
like,
at this. And she was like, okay, clearly you were upset. And I've not been a good friend to you. And I was like, yeah, but I shouldn't have just unloaded like this.
Yeah.
This is
I
shit
feel
we should have
guilty
talked.
afterwards. Too.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
And
hard about myself.
You invalidate it.
Yeah.
And it's hard not to be like, okay, just kidding about
Disappointed in
everything.
yourself.
And yeah. But it's hard. And of course, we worked through it. We actually got closer as a result because that was not hanging in between us anymore. And it was wonderful because I got to see her really grow. Like, because there was some really selfish stuff that she had done. And I had basically kind of enabled it because I never called her out. Yeah. But then she got called out and she was like, okay, shit, I'm realizing what I'm doing. Okay, I'm going to work on myself. So, I mean, that's the other thing too. Like, that might be something that will help us passive people when it comes to confrontation and friends. It's like, if you can build that boundary and call people out, you're going to make them a better person. Because they're going to realize, oh shit, that actually had an effect. My actions had consequences, and not in the like, oh, I got punished way, but I hurt somebody way.
Yeah.
Bringing it to their attention. So, like, some people really just do not know. Like, they really just do not have the awareness that this is affecting you like that. And they'll keep going. And I just assume I'm like, you should know this is how I'm feeling.
Right? Like, they already know, and they're just being a dick for ignoring it.
So
and
if
not
I'm
realizing,
being the asshole too, if I'm not bringing it to your attention, then that's on me too. So it's like different aspects of it is, it's hard to navigate friendship.
It is.
And
That's why I have such a small group of them, I think.
but the thing is, so on that, I think we've talked extremely positive on maintaining friendships, but there's also a time where, actually, so I had a few people wrote into me that I asked them, what advice can they give to people as adults and maintaining friendships? So one person, my aunt, actually, I highly recommend that if you're into very spiritual things, or you're in the Wiccan world or pagan world, or just want to hear advice from an adult woman, very wise, follow her on Instagram, des.haig, Haigh. Anyway.
Plugging your own.
Yeah, I am. She didn't ask me to.
Fair enough.
But I like the fact that I actually enjoy watching her things on Instagram. She's got a great following. She did a thing on IGTV recently on Instagram.
Oh, girl, get it.
And it was funny because we had already decided on this subject for our podcast for this episode, and she did something on adult friendships. So she said, show up, nurture, stop giving to relationships that aren't reciprocal.
Oh, it's a big thing.
That's a big
thing.
one.
And I was like, oh shit, well, definitely going to talk about that.
Right.
Which is like toxic relationships. Knowing when to cut it out. But the thing is that we also have to take into account love languages. As we talked in our previous, was it our last episode? Our couple episodes ago.
What is that? What are you saying here?
So you have
how's this work together?
the 5 languages of love, which can be applied to romantic relationships,
Gotcha.
But also
and
friends,
also friends,
family.
So there,
yeah,
Abby
gotcha,
will
okay.
remember better than me because she wrote it up for us.
Yeah.
So you
So-
have the 5 languages of love.
So we have touch, we have words of affirmation, we have quality time together, we have gift giving, and we have acts of service.
Oh.
And that's how we show love. So Michael's definitely a acts of service kind of person. Like me cleaning the house, fucking loves that. I'm a more
Chef's
touch
Oh yeah,
kind of
touch person
person.
over here by a mile.
I'm a gift giver.
Oh, she is 100% a gift
just
giver,
like it,
and it's
you're
great. I love getting gifts too. I love gift giving. I'm
I love
because you
to
can have
give
more
gifts.
than one
Yeah.
gift.
And you can be someone who can receive it better than like you just don't naturally do it, but you can recognize it when it's happening and be like, oh, this is an act of love.
And this is something that can wholeheartedly be applied to and it's very important to recognize the way that people show their love, because love is absolutely applicable for your friends.
Yeah.
And I love my friends, and I can't have a friend that I don't love.
Yeah.
And I know that all of my friends show their love a different way. And it's important because you shouldn't be so quick to throw a friendship out because you're not receiving the love that you think you should be getting from that friend.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, my friends like
Just
not throwing me
communicating
parties, or they don't come to all the things
Yeah.
that I do. Well,
I
they're
have this very
different.
specific parameters for you to show your love to me, and if you're not going to do exactly that, then why bother?
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, I have friends that they'll randomly text me out of the blue to say, hey, how's it going? Or whatever, just checking in. That's how they do. And it's just so great to have a just for no reason text, or people that will come help you prep for a party. There's not a lot of
Or
those
move,
people.
or like,
Or
yes.
a move. But you should not discredit your friends that don't come help move.
Because moving
That's,
sucks.
yeah, and like not everyone wants to do that. And if they don't show up, don't judge them because they don't want to do it. Because they don't want to do it doesn't mean they don't love you. It's because
But
they
like,
don't
don't be that friend who like tells people you're going to do it and then just doesn't, because that's where the
always be a
judging is
person of your
allowed.
word.
Yeah.
Always be a
Period.
person of your word, no matter what your love
Yeah.
language is.
Yes.
You could be stoned
Or
for that.
if you're going to cancel, be honest
Yes.
and say,
I had to work on
I'm
that.
not feeling this.
Not
I
doing
know I
it.
said
Nope.
I was going to do it, but I'm going to be a shitty friend right now and not do it. I'd have more respect if you're like,
Nope.
yeah, I said I was going to do it, but I'm not. And I'll
do
be
that
like,
to you all the
okay,
time.
no problem. I appreciate the honesty more, and I
I think
respect
it maybe
that.
know now.
Because you know
Still
what?
want to.
You're speaking your truth.
Oh my God, live your truth, y'all.
You're speaking your truth.
The worst. The worst.
Oh.
But I had to actually get better at doing that too, like making an effort and learning how different people are with the way that I communicate too. So like, I do make sure that I like just text and
Yeah.
call or whatever, even if it's like, I hate talking on the phone.
Oh yeah.
I hate talking on the phone, but there's like a select handful of people that I'll talk on the phone with. And some people like to talk on the phone.
Yeah.
So I'll do it, catch up, and that's it.
Right.
But yeah, it's hard because you have to do the work yourself too. It's kind of, that sounds just as cheesy as
Hey, but it's
Know your
true.
truth.
Do the work.
do you.
know?
You gotta do you. You gotta know your truth too.
Yup.
I'm entitled to my own feelings too.
Exactly. And then, so with toxic friendships, knowing when to hang it up.
I am not the
tough
person to be
one.
speaking
Yeah.
about this because
So,
I just learned recently how
I've
to get.
learned, I'm very proud of myself that I've learned a while ago that it's okay to cut friendships. I would say actually, as far as right out of high school, I had a friend who actually all through high school, my parents did not like her. She had a very negative energy. Other friends of mine, she was very manipulative. Other friends of mine told me they didn't understand why I was friends with her. And I got nothing out of it. I was always being told I was a bad friend, even though I wasn't. And it was just lots of jealousy.
But like, who
and
does that though?
manipulation.
Like at this.
Well, in her defense, but not in her defense at the same time, she was bipolar. And wasn't medicated until too late, and then she was on meds and still was being a shitty friend. I was like, okay,
I'm gonna
now
say
you
it's
got
not
no
an excuse,
excuse.
but I don't know the situation.
No excuse now.
No.
And then I think from there, and it was just like, it took a while for me to learn. When we were talking about childhood friends, I had this person who I felt bad for her, and I could see a lot of potential, and we had enough things in common that she was childhood friends with one of my close friends, and I was like, okay, well, there must be something there. And she had an incident. I'm trying not to get too specific.
You went down the hole already, or
Yeah.
the rabbit hole.
So, you know what? Fuck her. She's a goddamn bitch.
Oh.
So,
Yes.
she had a concussion. I cleaned her house for her. I like brought her food. I just did all these things,
Yeah.
and she didn't have. And I should have saw it as a warning sign. She didn't have a lot of friends or any friends.
Red flag.
Like
Big red
like
flag.
very minimal. And I just
That's
thought
like a red beacon right in your
I thought
face.
it was a cultural thing.
Can't say
And
that.
all these different things, and just I put a lot of time and effort into that. And I found out from our mutual friend that she didn't believe in ADD,
What?
Boy.
and she thought that I never listened because sometimes I would interrupt. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, yes, I would understand, and yes, I would listen. She just
Wait,
didn't
what, on
think I
what
was-
grounds did she not? Was one of those
Yeah.
like non-vaxxer type people? Because that's what I'm picturing.
No, she was Russian. Now I'm getting very specific.
Oh, okay. I see where the cultural was coming
No
in.
offense to Russians, but she was anyway.
We could probably just wipe that part.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So it was just anyway. There was at one point where there was a bit of a ghosting situation that I was like, wait, what's happening? Because I'd feel bad and I'd reach out again and whatever. And then there was like a awkward part of our lives, and my close friend talked to her, and she was like, well, I figured she'd get the hint and I'd stop, that we're just not. I'm like, why wouldn't you just tell me? I was being your friend out of, I'd hate to say, partly out of pity.
I wouldn't.
Because I
have
thought
kept
that
putting
you
shit-
just needed room to grow, and you were going to grow into a good human being, and I was
Yeah.
trying to be your friend to kind of help you get more friends.
You go into
Are
your
you
side of the
kidding
grass,
me?
you grow, and then you come back when you want to.
Yeah. The
friends.
fact that she was like, I figured she'd get the hint. I was
But
like,
you didn't get the hint, did you?
unfriend, block, all of that. I was like, are you
Oh, the
kidding me?
blocking on
was
the
like,
social medias and stuff. Oh,
I was like,
God,
you're wasting
Felicia.
my
Good
goddamn time. I got so many other people I could have been dedicating my time
but
to.
I think that you're one of those types of people that it's like a challenge. If you think that somebody is like not vibing with you, you're gonna try harder
Oh, yeah.
because it's like a personal thing now. Do you know what I
Oh,
mean?
for
Which is-
sure. I
yeah.
do. I 100%. I'll take it personal. But even though they're trying and I'm trying, and I'm just like, okay, how can I adapt myself? But I shouldn't have to fucking goddamn adapt
Yeah.
myself. There's some things, yes, as
Yeah.
an adult, you need to adapt, but not your whole goddamn life.
Yeah. Exactly. I'm the opposite like that. Like I will do if you stop talking to me, then I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna reach out then. I'm
That's
gonna
a-
ride it out.
That's one that I've slowly, I've really had to force myself. I had a friendship last year where actually, same friend who runs away from deep feelings, did this weird, 180 on me. And I was like, okay, well, now it's just time for me to be attentive enough for both of us. I'll really check in. I'll be the best friend ever. And it was like, oh my God, this is so
Exhausting.
fucking exhausting. And
Yeah.
because of that, I'm now just like, hey, if you just drop the ball on me, okay, cool. I'll be a good friend. I'll kind of check in once in a while, but you are not, I'm not going to step up to the plate just because
No.
you decided fuck off. That is hard. It is hard to remember that if they are not reciprocating back, it's not a judgment on you, and it doesn't mean you have to prove shit.
Yeah.
Also, life can be busy.
yes,
I have
exactly.
a friend who, Alex Wells.
Oh boy,
Called
we
you right
are
the fuck
name dropping.
No, he's one of the purest human beings in the world, and I love him dearly. And I realized that back in August, recently, I said, try
Wait,
to catch up with him.
Is this the guy that just swooped in from New York and then left?
No, that was Chris.
Oh. He made a road trip.
Cheers to adulting. That's Chris.
Oh, okay.
No,
I
but,
didn't know that.
Alex had we had text, and I was like, "Hey, how's life?" And he was like, "Oh, I'm super busy. Can I call you later tonight?" And then a couple months later, I realized that it had been a couple months later. He never called me, and I was like, "How about that phone call?"
Oh,
Like 2 months
me.
later, and he was like, "Oh shit." I'm like, "It's all right." Like, a week later, I was like, "Still never called me, bro." But the thing is that he's.
Let me call you back in 10 minutes. You
Yeah.
ain't getting that call back from me. Don't expect
Yeah,
it. That
that
don't hold me to that.
I know that he has like a girlfriend now, and of course he's gonna rather talk to a girl that's giving him some pussy.
I mean, blowjobs, like
Right? I can't provide that for him, unfortunately. Sorry.
DJ's Trump.
But like life happens,
Yeah.
and it's just realizing that life happens.
Exactly.
And it does not mean that friends don't like you or appreciate you, or that they're shitty friends just because they haven't talked to you in 2 months,
Right.
maybe 3 months or whatever.
Right?
But like at the same token, did they reach out? Like sometimes I hate that when people say it to me all the time. I haven't heard from you in a million
and
years.
it's
Like, yeah, but I haven't heard from you
Yeah,
either.
pick
So
up the
why
fucking
is it always
phone
on me?
yourselves. Like,
I didn't
yeah,
get
it'd be
anything
one
from
thing
you.
if they're constantly checking in, and they're just like, hey, if I don't talk to you, like, it means we don't talk. Then
Yeah.
it's like, okay, I get it, like reciprocation. But I will have some friends who are like that, like, and I'm like, why are you expending all this energy yelling at me when you
Yeah.
could have just like
Text me. You
yeah,
know.
just be like, hey, what's up? Or hey, here's a funny meme. Like, how hard is that supposed to
You
be?
know damn well I wasn't around.
And then on top of that, we have sometimes when friends cancel plans or anything. The thing is that, especially for extroverts out there or people like me, it's okay to not talk to friends, be with friends, be with boyfriends, husbands, partners. It's okay to be by yourself. I have a hard time with this myself.
I had a hard time with that growing up.
I have a hard time feeling the need to not feel the need to fill up every day, every night to schedule something with someone. I have a hard time saying, you need to be at home by yourself and to do things at home and not make plans with someone.
I love it.
You need to date yourself.
Right?
Date yourself.
Date yo.
Treat yourself.
2019.
What's up? Oh, we're bringing that Parks and Rec back. We're gonna bring it back.
And I find when it's an opportunity for me when friends cancel plans for me to say, okay, this means like paint my nails, do some laundry, have some me time, because it's important to have that me time, that sense of independence if you don't do that often and you feel that need to fill that void. Even if you're single or your partner's long distance, or if you don't live with them, you don't need to be with people to make you happy. Although friends are important
Yeah.
and a good thing to have, even if you don't think you need friends, you do need friends. But
Nobody
you
is an
also
island.
need to be your own friend.
Exactly.
How are people going to love you if you don't love yourself? You're like, Courtney's like, I don't get down
You
with that.
fucking just took it down like a real weird road. It's just very, very after school special
You
sound.
have
That
to
one
live
like
our
last part you did
We
there.
gotta live our truth.
You have to
Yeah,
live your
I'm
truth.
telling my truth. I'm living my truth right now. You gotta love yourself.
You
Put some
do.
Bieber on right now.
I know. It's so corny and cheesy.
But
when-
it needs to be said. It's the only
Yeah,
other way you can
it-
say
there's
it.
a- yeah,
it's just
exactly.
no other way you can say it without sounding fucking douchey. But
yeah,
I
it's
see what you're
douchey,
saying with that.
yes.
But I used to be like that too. But it was mostly like I think it was just because I never really wanted to deal with other things. Like when I was in my 20s, whatever. I don't love to be alone, but I'm alone a lot more than I should be. Like because I travel for
Yeah.
work and stuff. So like I had to learn.
Well, you need decompression time.
And I don't like it. I'm sure Jeff doesn't love it when I come home and I chat like his ear off. If we've been in the car for 5 hours alone, I'm gonna tell you everything that happened.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I like to be around friends. But then it just makes you want to be at home sometimes more too. Mm-hmm. Which is a double edge, I guess, because I want to stay home, but I also want to see people. So
Well, that's when you have like me that we can do nothing, and it's not like you're seeing people, but you feel like you're kind of doing it.
But I also talk to you every single day. Yeah, like we all, like most of my, like the core friends that I've weeded down to, I've chiseled down to like this many. I talk to them at least, even if it's a text, you know, which is good, and everybody else is fine with that.
There you go.
I see my cats every day though.
That's the important
Cats are
part.
the best
Never
friends.
get tired of them.
All right.
And then I would say last but not least, you don't need to be friends with everybody.
That was one of the first things
That's
I remember
something-
you said to me a long time ago when I felt like I had to do something.
Because I've learned, I've learned this as a extreme extrovert. Extrovert, empath, that I feel everybody's feelings and all of that, and you don't need to be friends with everybody, and not everybody needs to like you.
That's a really
I'm
tough
not
one.
everyone's cup of tea.
Yeah. Oh my God, I would make myself as passive and as small as possible, basically to fit whatever lowest common denominator I needed to be to like make somebody like me. And it took a few toxic bosses and honestly a few toxic friends I had to cancel to realize, wait a minute, some people will just not like me. I could be the sweetest, most doormattiest mouse in the world. They're still not like.
There's
maybe,
always someone who's not gonna like an orange. Isn't that
Exactly.
the
Yeah.
Street
Yes.
quote? Yeah. It's just ridiculous. I know exactly what you're talking about.
So it took a lot of time before I'm like, you know
Who
what?
doesn't like
Not
you?
Some people don't.
People
Like,
that think she's too pretty, probably.
I mean,
but
shucks.
Jesus.
you
like,
know
it's
it's
not like
true.
you're in the
That's
face
the
with
only
it,
one
though.
that's
Like,
not
you're
gonna like
humble
her is
about
people
it.
that think she's too pretty.
You're
I
plenty
mean-
ugly. Don't
Can't.
Oh God, leave it to Pat to give me that.
Oh, build her up, tear down.
Ooh, that's the pep talk I
Humble
needed.
punch.
Right? But you know what? Like I've had bosses that for some reason just never liked me. Like I and honestly, I could get a little egotistical and be like, you know what? I think it's because you think I'm doing like. I had one preschool director who didn't like me, and I think it was because I was running my classroom better than when she was a preschool
Threatened.
teacher, and
Yeah.
she felt threatened. There's currently a check-in receptionist lady at one of the places that I teach at, and like I don't know what she has something with me, like she just doesn't like me.
It's that
at
small
all.
person on the totem pole.
There we
like,
go.
vibe. I
And
think it's
she'll
like,
get and she'll get just like nasty with me. Like there was one time that I came in and I was running late, and like for some reason the name of like renewed people who could come into the building didn't renew for some reason, and she was just like taking her time, and I was not even nasty with her or anything, but I'm a person like I wear my heart on my sleeve. Like I have no poker face, and I was clearly like getting anxious, and again didn't say anything nasty to her, didn't tell her to hurry up, just nothing. I was just, and then after that she would be like, she would find any reason to be like, oh, but you're so busy, so I guess like she would always find a reason to be like, you're just always so busy, and you're always worried about being late.
Yeah,
and
you're
just,
always so
like,
slow at your job.
Yeah. And
It took me a really long time to speak my voice too.
Oh,
Like when
to
I would
speak
just
that
let
truth?
people like to speak my truth.
all right.
I would let people cut me. I wouldn't say anything,
Oh
but I
my
would
God,
just let it like
yes.
drive me nuts. Like,
Oh, and
right?
then you would just fester. Yeah.
Now I'm just like, excuse me.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh, I've become.
I've gotten pretty good now that
People just
I'll
like
be
that
like,
just say things now.
the line's back there.
Oh yeah.
It's the
It's
fed
good,
up
yeah.
line. When you get older, you're just like, fuck
Exactly.
it.
Oh, it's the most
Fuck it.
amazing
That, I
thing
think that's
ever.
why
Like,
old ladies,
they just don't give a
they're at that you're like, wow, old ladies don't give a fuck.
Right,
They're
like,
nasty
People
as
used
fuck.
to say
Honestly,
that
That's
wait
gonna
till
be
you get
me.
older.
This is honestly, I feel like there's a conspiracy about, because remember when we were in our 20s and they always said like 30, your life's over,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. I hit 30 and I was like, I don't give a shit about so many
Fucking
things.
best time of my
And
life.
I'm like, it's a conspiracy. They're here to make us be afraid of our 30s, because once we hit our 30s, we're not going to
I
fucking
can't
care.
even wait to see what the fuck 40s is
Oh,
going.
I'm ready for that.
Real,
I mean,
no fuck.
It's gonna be no chill.
It's gonna be May.
True.
I'm not ready for the parts of like, if I get injured, that's fucking it. Because like,
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
already
yeah.
at that phase where it's like, if I pull a muscle, it's like, great.
Yeah,
I'm going
that
to deal with that
hurts,
for the rest
though.
of my life,
Yeah.
aren't I? I'm not ready for what that's going to look like at 40, but everything else I am here for.
You just keep drinking all that water.
Yeah.
Drink your
Yeah.
water.
Speak your
Exercise.
truth.
Oh,
speak your
what's
truth.
that?
Yeah, I mean, like that's basically what you got to do these days. Anyway,
Don't
so.
have to. Not everybody has to like you.
There
Good,
we
because
go.
you know what the damn truth is. I don't fucking like everybody. Like
Yeah.
I like a slice of
Like,
people.
there's a lot of
Human
shitty
beings,
people in
yeah.
this world. So
And
Human
you can
beings
have
piss me
friends
off.
that have really good potential and can contribute a lot to you, but you can also not like a lot of things they can do. But you can
Yeah.
also tell them, be like, I don't like when you do this.
right?
That's
I
annoying.
openly am not taking, like, usually if I'm going to be invested, I have to have, like, so, like, you know, when you're watching a bunch of series, you have your normal shows. Say, like, Game of Thrones is gone now, so I have an opening. So that take on another something.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm pretty maxed out with my time and my people that I invest in right now. So right now, there's no openings. You know what I mean? Like, that kind of situation. So I'm not only going to go a little bit deep. Like, but I'm also not, like, actively, like, what was that thing you were saying earlier today? What was it? The dating app friend thing?
Oh,
Bumble,
I
BFF.
forgot to mention, holy fuck. Really quickly, if you're looking to make new friends,
Not.
go to parties. Don't be afraid. Not Courtney.
Not currently. I have to
Her
get it in
her
my-
positions are filled. If
That
you're
sounds like
looking
that's
to
an
make
asshole
new
thing.
friends, don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Just like dating.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to be at a party or a social gathering and say, here's my phone. What's your number? We click.
Oh, I totally
right?
would never do that.
I've actually done that where I'm like, can I send you like a friend request or
Yeah,
something?
or like,
And,
can
you
I
know,
add
Oh, when
you
I'm
on
drunk, I'll get
Facebook?
all the friends.
Or
Yeah.
Instagram. That's very low pressure.
Yeah.
Let's follow each other on
Instagram's
Instagram.
great because you can get a real good view of somebody's life.
Oh,
yeah.
through yeah, that's a good one. I don't know
Or
about this Bumble thing, though. I don't know about
Or if you want to go real ballsy,
that. Don't.
so actually before we like wrap up really quick, one person that responded to my question on maintaining friends is someone that I have not officially met her yet. Oh, goddamn, Floof's peeing somewhere she shouldn't be peeing. If you haven't met
Just cut
someone,
that part.
I signed up for Bumble BF, or it's called BFF, Bumble BFF. So
BFF sounds so. I'm
I
not even
know.
gonna
Yeah. So it
describe
just
what I
means-
feel like it because it's just a picture
Yeah.
of the people that use it, and I'm just
Bumble
not,
Yeah.
friends.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're the same people who are speaking their truth.
Yeah, and we're yeah.
It's like
Unique.
if you're in a new town, like I have only been in New Hampshire for 2
I'm
years,
so sorry.
Oh, good.
and I have a close knit amount of friends, but I want some rando friends, you know, because I had a
'Cause
whole
we're not good enough.
network in Boston and no one's around, or for weeknights, and so I signed up for Bumble BFF.
Fillers,
Fillers, yeah.
filler
No
friends.
offense to Kayla.
Bumble filler friends.
So one of my friend, we're gonna hang out tomorrow, and I told her to come over in a onesie. I said, "What advice would you give to other adults about maintaining friendships?" She said, "Onesie meetups or less."
Hey.
What are you guys gonna watch on Netflix?
No, I'm not decided. We're gonna get stoned and
There you go.
watch some.
Well, you better have
Netflix.
something lined up for food then.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna make some venison steak. And then I
Where'd you
had
get-
someone
Go. Sorry.
that said, and this is great for our listeners that have children. Specifically, when dealing with parent friends, be forgiving. We don't want to be late. We don't want to cancel. We don't always want to drag the kids along, but we're trying really hard to maintain our existing friendships, and it's difficult. And on the flip side, as a parent dealing with childless friends, be understanding of their misunderstanding and their frustration. It's valid. So that, I think,
I don't get frustrated.
That was
I just
from-
don't have many of them. I don't.
yeah, that's my friend Tracy, and that was really
That's
good.
a valid point.
Because
Yeah.
I know that I am one of very, very, very few friends within my close friend circle that plans on having children. Like the majority of my close friends are not having children. And
what's
I'm
up?
100% okay with that. Woo! My friend, I don't have to worry about them finding a
Hard pass.
babysitter.
Right?
I'm the only one that will.
But I'm not going to because you guys are gonna have the kids.
Exactly. So it works out for me, but I know that, and we have someone who actually is about to have a baby. She's gonna be one of the few in our circle that will have a kid. So we'll have to.
And
learn
I don't
to
mind.
adapt.
I don't mind going to the house or
Right?
one of my closest friends, Kristen, her son, best.
Yeah.
He just chills, hangs out. He knows what's up. He knows who Courtney is.
Yeah.
And, I don't have kids, and that's that. But I'm cool with that, too. I don't want to put pressure on them either, because I know it's like a lot of pressure.
So yeah, that is all I have to say. Anybody else? Any little wrap up notes or whatever?
Oh, I think
We
we
put a splash in mine.
You can have this.
Oh,
This
this
is-
just a splash.
I like to give gifts.
I need drinking splash. She might.
I mean, a
need
little splash in
more.
if
Here,
a-
I'll
Here we
splash
go.
towards you.
This is what friends are for, by
Yeah.
the way. We're gonna
Yeah.
share our
Share and
drinks.
caring.
Exactly. I think that's just a great way to end it. Sharing,
Yeah,
and caring,
sharing
everybody.
is
living our
caring.
truth.
And
like-
living our truth,
It's like
everybody.
it's like elementary school that we're learning. Just sharing is caring.
You know it was a good
Exactly.
day if you didn't hit or bite anybody.
Yeah.
And you know what? Today was a good day.
That's right.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody,
to
to
adulting.
That's gross.
Cheers to adulting.